On today's episode, I have my daughter co-hosting with me today, and we're going to talk about everything, but specifically, I want to talk about setting the standards for your life and what that means, especially since I have my daughter, she's a little younger, what that means for like the younger generation. And so maybe you guys might get a little tidbit that you can give to your kids, but it's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee. Let's get into it. We are going. Okay. We are live, and we're not really live, but we are recording officially.
Studio B.
Studio B, the heart of Silicon Valley. Yeah. Welcome. Are you excited to be back with me?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Are you comfortable over there?
I think I'll get into my groove.
Okay. Well, as long as you get into your groove, we're gonna be good. You're my co-host, so you're here for all the good stuff too. I'm not interviewing you.
No, but that makes it even more intimidating because I couldn't prepare.
You must have sent me like 4 text messages with question marks, and I just kept ignoring them.
And I tried calling you too.
It's funny because when I need you or try to get a hold of you, it's like impossible. But when you need something, you will put out an APB.
Well, if I'm busy, I'm obviously not going to respond.
And you're on your phone 24/7, so I know like you're in the middle of watching a show and...
Not necessarily.
I don't know about that. But before we get too far into this, a little housekeeping, you guys, as you know, follow us on our candidly_with_coffee on Instagram. You guys have actually grown that Instagram pretty well. Thank you. Appreciate it. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That's been a little stagnant. So if you guys could do that for us, that would really be helpful. And then Mike and I have a show called Off Topic on Patreon. If you are interested in more of Candidly with Coffee, we get a little more uncensored, unfiltered over there. It's a little more casual once a week. And we also do an after show. I'm actually going to bring Alyssa into the Patreon after show today as well. So you'll see Alyssa over there too.
I'm so excited.
Head over, check that out. I had a funny thing happen this week. Since Mike is not here, we can kind of poke fun at him a little bit. But he cannot handle a post on social media going viral.
Why? What happened?
He can't handle the comments. You know what I mean? Like, so we had a post, and I'll put it up on the screen, but I'll show you as well. So I posted us like 13 years ago, and then now, right? Yeah. And so all the comments are coming in. It's a great post. It's got over 500,000 views.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No way.
But the problem when
it's like a reel?
It's a reel. Yeah, it's a reel. The problem when you have a post go viral, and I know this, is that's when the trolls come.
Yeah.
And so of course they're poking fun, saying,
I liked you before.
That they'll say but they're specifically like
I'm like
yeah, because they're saying like, homie stretched 6 inches because it looks like he's taller now, but it's really just because in one picture I have wedges on, and in the other one I'm barefoot. But some of the things that I read that he was writing back to them, I'm like, he's engaging.
No, he was responding to it.
He's responding.
No, like serious too.
Yeah, like
does he know that they're joking?
I mean, he doesn't get it. You know what I mean?
That they're trolling.
Yeah, like he's like, no, homie, I'm just diced and shredded now. No. And the funniest one was someone said, wow, and I need your secret because clearly you've also grown 6 inches, and he didn't realize it was a troll. That's the funniest one. So he replied and goes, well, it's actually because when you lean out, you look taller. I was like, no, babe, they're saying that to you because you look taller because I have no shoes on, but they're just insulting. It's just an insult. But he's responding as if it's real.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling him, like, you have to understand you can't engage with the trolls. And he agrees with me. But then I'll read that he's responding to every troll comment.
He can't help himself.
Yeah. He can't handle a viral post. And he just doesn't get it. Someone made a comment saying that, I like the chubby version better.
Yeah.
Oh, and he went off on that one.
That's what I was talking about. That's what most people will comment.
Yeah. I like the before.
Yeah, I like the before.
A lot of people are saying it's two totally different people, which I'm like, that's a compliment. Just take it as a compliment because if they think we look like two totally different people. But then there was one guy that was, he said, you know, the great, you know, good thing there's so much surgery and stuff like that. Mike just,
oh no,
he couldn't hold himself back. So yeah, that it was pretty funny.
And the comments are still up.
Oh yeah. So if you guys have a chance, go over to Instagram. You guys want a little chuckle, go to Instagram and find that post. Mike is like losing his shit. It's like he can't control himself. I was like, don't engage. So I've replied, you know, piped in a little bit. I'm like, it's because my shoes or because I'm not wearing shoes in the second picture or whatever because Mike is losing his shit.
Yeah, it sounds like Mike.
It is
sometimes
too funny.
that's Hi and I's favorite pastime
is what?
Is to do impressions of Mike.
Oh, like what? Like what? What are some of them?
Like it'll be like, yeah, this is Mike in the morning.
What is he doing? What is all that?
Because he's making pancakes.
Oh, and you know
and
what?
He's hitting his spoon on to make sure he gets every drop
butter.
of batter.
Yeah. Oh no, Mike makes it. It's an event in the kitchen. He's got his laptop up. He's got his ear pod in. He's having a conversation with a bro conversation, pumping each other up with his bros, and making the pancakes that I've never seen someone take so long to make pancakes before.
There must be something wrong with our room because we can just hear everything.
I don't know, maybe
Hi and I will literally wake up at the same time and just like look at each other like, oh.
Is it ever me being loud?
And
sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, you know what all of that is? That's all incentive to move for you guys.
4:30 in the morning.
But listen, if it was too perfect, then you would never leave. You guys would stay forever.
Yeah.
It has to be a little uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? It just goes to show you that it is hard to find someone that's compatible to live with. Do you think that you and Hi are going to be compatible to live with?
Yeah.
I think that you guys are going to have.
Well, we've already lived with each other.
No, but I think you're going to have a little bit of a time when it's your own place.
Yeah, I think we are. But the problem is that we're both messy. That's the problem. But we know we want to be better. Like both of us want to be better. And the problem is like one of us will be good. Mainly it's me.
That's why there's going to be a problem.
One of us will be good, but then the other person is like lacking. And so it's like, oh, what's the point of me even keeping it clean if they're not even going to be doing it? So I'm just going to be messy too.
Oh, no.
So I'm developing a system of different chores that we're doing, and it's dependent on how much we're willing to do them. Like, the only thing we're going to struggle with, I think, mainly is laundry, because we both don't like putting away laundry. So I told him, if I'm going to either you make the dinners and I'll do the laundry, or I make the dinners and you do the laundry. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of like settled everything, that all of our different tasks that we're going to be doing.
That's important.
The problem is implementation.
See, this is where I think you guys are going to struggle, because I think that once you kind of make up your mind on something, you're pretty like determined. And then if he falters, you're going to be really not happy about it.
Well, we've already dealt with this in our tiny little room. So,
but it's different when it's like your apartment and your night. It's just going to be. It's not that you can't get through it, but I'm just saying it's going to be a time.
Of course,
at first. It's going to be kind of funny, actually, for me.
Of course, it'll be a time.
Because that's probably the hardest. Is just it's going to take you guys a few months to settle into the grooves of what each of you is going to do.
Yeah, I think I'm just excited to have a bigger space, because I feel like everything is so cluttered right now, because we're trying to fit all of our stuff in one tiny room.
Well, it doesn't help that Hi bought this executive size desk.
Did we talk about this on the last one?
I think so, but the cleaners left your door open the other day I saw the desk and I was like, that thing is freaking half the room.
Yeah.
And an executive chair.
Yeah, and when he was, and I was the one that suggested that he get a desk because he was so tired of working on the bed or the couch. Like he wanted a place to put his laptop. Get a desk. I was like pushing for him to get a desk. And he was like, no.
And then
he finally got a desk. And I was, of course, when he got it, I was super sick, had a fever. So I was like in and out of sleep. And as he was putting it up, I literally thought I was dreaming. Like, this is a fever dream. Please let me go to sleep and it go away. Because I was mortified.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to find an apartment big enough for that desk.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it up.
All right, you guys, let's take a break for One Up Nutrition, and we'll be right back. It is no secret to you guys by now how much I love my One Up Nutrition supplements. They are a part of my daily routine, from the daily cleanse and the gut health plus that help keep my digestion on point, to their protein powders that I incorporate into so many different recipes. The iso protein is very easy to digest and only 110 calories per scoop. The whey protein is delicious. The flavors are so good and always have little extra crunchy cookie pieces in them that just take the flavor to the next level. Their powders, like the Pure Rebuild and the pre-workout, are a staple in my daily workout routine. Their flavors are amazing. I'm alcohol-free these days, but I swear when I drink some of these flavors from One Up, I actually feel like I'm having a delicious mocktail. Their products are third-party tested, so you know what you're getting. They're made in the USA. If you use code Jeanine at checkout for a discount. That's Jeanine. Speaking of San Diego, we are headed there on Friday.
I don't think you mentioned where I was moving, Mom.
Oh, I didn't? Well, I've talked about it in previous episodes.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I listened to your stuff all the time.
Yeah, but we are going to San Diego for a little trip. But are you guys going to be doing anything move related, or we're just going for the trip?
Mainly just for a trip. We'll see a couple apartments, but that's pretty much it. Our main, like our top one so far. There's one that's like has been just, I feel like it's just going to happen because it's just been constantly, I've been seeing it over and over again without looking for it. So I feel like that's the apartment that's going to happen for me, but mainly just a trip, just so you can see and experience. You're not going to be able to experience it all, but you'll get a good taste.
I mean, I know we're going to love it. I've only been to San Diego. Have I only been there one time?
That's disappointing.
And I didn't do much, you know? I mean, like, I don't remember, actually. I was just still a heavy drinker at the time, so I just drank the trip away. I don't remember much of it.
It does kind of suck, though, that you're not drinking, because there are so many, like, cute speakeasies with so many fun drinks.
But I still want to go. I don't mind going to those things. I'm excited to. But so you snuck in a meet the dad.
Yeah.
See, she bamboozled me. She invited me on a trip to San Diego with her and her boyfriend, Mike and I, and then she bamboozled me into meeting Hi's dad on the first night. First night?
Like lunch, second day.
On Saturday. It's changed?
On Saturday.
Oh, it's the sushi day. Oh. I'm looking forward to the trip, though. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to. It's quick. It's very quick.
I mean, that's all I have time for right now.
Yeah. Your guys is barely 36 hours.
Yeah, because I have work until 12, and then I'm leaving right after to the airport.
Yeah, so we'll be there Friday morning. It'll be interesting. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do. All right, moving on to some hot topics. Alyssa and I, and this is actually a good tip for mother-daughter tip, or when you have older kids, is find a show that you guys both like and watch it, because then you have something to like gossip about. But we've been into Love Island this summer big time.
USA.
Love Island USA, the one with Ariana Madix. So good. And by the time you guys are watching this episode, it's over. But it's worth maybe a little marathon on Peacock.
I think most people are watching it right now.
You think you think even older people my age?
Well, not as many, but definitely it's up there with the most viewed. It's like the most attention I've ever seen a Love Island season. And I've watched a lot of I've watched Australia, I've watched UK. This is like one of the most like talk I've heard.
You know, and you got me to watch it a long time ago. You said you like it, but the premise of it does not sound like something that an adult woman, like a, you know, older woman would want to watch. I'm like, I don't know. It's just like,
but Mom.
No, but I mean, it sounds, there's a lot of those reality shows and they don't grab me, but there's something about Love Island that grabs you, and it's in real time. So it's kind of like a Big Brother.
Yeah.
So it's in real time, but it's almost every day.
Yeah.
Right?
1 hour every day but hump day.
Yeah, so it's kind of like they just put a bunch of singles together in a villa and they try to find love. It sounds so cliche, so simple, but it's so good. And I can't explain the magic of it. Can you explain why is it good?
Well, a lot of it is how it's produced. I think they've really kind of narrowed it down to a science of keeping it entertaining, and the key is finding good cast members too that are going to make good television, good drama.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so special about this class is, number one, they've really nailed down the producing and
the casting,
figuring out what works and what doesn't, and then the casting. The cast is great. Not only do they cause drama, but they're just so funny. Like the best one-liners.
Oh, they're so good. I laugh out loud.
Yeah. And it's the whole twist to it, like the bombshells that come in and then Casa Amor.
Yeah.
And like everything that kind of leads to it.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard of it, like even Odell Beckham Jr., the NFL player, his brother is actually one of the cast members on there. And he had like a video call with him. And he said he was at a white party, like in the Hamptons, and everybody kept coming up to him, talking to him about the show. Like, that's how popular it is. He's like, everyone was asking me about, you know, my brother and this and that. You could tell he was really happy for his brother. Mm-hmm. Like, he's happy, like, wow, you have something now. Like, this is big for you.
Yeah. They're just, and you can tell Serena and Cordell, that I think that's the couple I'm rooting for right now to win. And I think that's what most people are. I think they're going to win.
I think so,
based
too.
Based off the people and, like, the videos I've seen.
Yeah.
They just seem the most genuine. And they have a lot of love for each other.
Yeah, it's like a real you know what I loved about their connection is they were friends first. And she wanted that. She wanted to foster a friendship first.
Yeah. And I think that's what made it so genuine and like their connection so real. And also seeing the difference between the way he kind of handled post Casa and the way Aaron handled post Casa was completely different. He was like completely owned up to it, and I guess there was even more stuff behind the scenes that we didn't even get to see of like stuff that he did for Serena to like make it up to her. But he was like, I mean, he like, even when they were like arguing, she was like just going in at him. He was like, tell me why I'm such a piece of shit. I get it, just tell me why.
He also admitted, and I like that he said
like he took accountability.
Yeah, he said it was nice to get the attention. You know what I mean? Like I just fell for like getting the attention, you know. And that girl came in gunning for him. She kind of showed her true colors after. Sorry if you guys haven't watched Love Island, but you guys should give it a chance if you're looking for something just kind of entertaining. Because you could watch even old seasons on Peacock. I want to watch. You told me to watch UK
season 5. That's with Maura. Do you have a favorite one-liner that they say? Do you remember any of them?
I still like the one-liner because they keep replaying it in a commercial from the last season, which was "Soul Ties is crazy." I laughed so hard. Yeah. Soul Ties is crazy, and they just would all say it.
Yeah, and it even caught on to this season too.
I love it. So that's my favorite line. Do you have one?
Yeah, Leah, when she got that public comment. And she, in the diary room, she was like, suck my dick, whatever you said to me, times it by 1,000,000. And if it's bad, make it worse.
Oh, I love Leah.
At first, I went back and forth with her at first because she was kind of like, seemed like a little stuck up. But she's just so hilarious.
No, I love her. Did you love the part where Serena's sisters told her, like, go back and give those girls a hug for me because they're riding for you. Like they're hard. Because, Serena doesn't know what's being said behind her back and how much support, like they truly are like super close. It's hard to see that with women too, especially like this kind of a show.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm loving that show. There's also another show I binge watched, the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader show on Netflix. You guys, that is so good. You have to watch that. I think you'd like it. It kind of reminds me of your acro days, but it gave me like,
I don't know if I want to watch that.
It gave me like that anxiety I used to have, when the girls are trying out, like when you used to perform, like it was so scary. Like, are you gonna mess up? It's a lot of anxiety for a parent when you have a child in a competitive sport.
Yeah, I get it because it's like you can't even control what happens, especially with me because I was so hard on myself.
Yeah, I now looking back, because we're so out of it, I realized like that was just so hard. The whole thing, like your competitions, and I would get so anxious, and you would be an anxious wreck too.
I mean, yeah, because even for like, it wasn't even in all of my control of what happened during.
No, because it was a team sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard, and I can't say that I'm glad it's not over. How do you think you would be with your kids in those kind of sports and stuff? Would you want them in something? Would you want your daughter to do acro?
I mean, I'll introduce them to everything and then they'll figure out what they want to do.
But acro is kind of very niche, so that you'd have to really have them pursue it,
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
How do you think you would be as
because it's nostalgic.
Oh, we're going to get into nostalgic. How do you think you'd be as the parent, handle the anxiety? Do you think it'll trigger your anxiety?
Well, not like have a panic attack, but it'd definitely make me nervous 100%. I mean, I experienced it when I was a coach and I coached my acro athletes. I had experienced the same thing.
Yeah. It's really
hard. It was
like
I still felt all the pressure.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm glad that part is over, but it's I guess a rite of passage as a parent. You have to deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, not everyone though, because like there's like soccer games and baseball games.
Well, because I don't know if you guys listening would agree with me here, but as a parent, the most difficult thing to deal with is not having control to be able to fix something that goes wrong with your kids. Like you can't fix something. You know that they are hurt because something didn't go their way. They didn't make the team. They lost a big game, whatever, and you can't fix it. That is the hardest thing as a parent to go through.
Tough.
Yeah. So good luck with that someday. You will remember me telling you this someday. You'll call me and say, Mom, remember that time I was on your podcast? When the first time it happens to you with your kid. For me, the way I would handle it a lot of times is like I get angry. Not at you guys, but I feel like I need to lash out at somebody. Like who can I attack? Right?
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, that's actually, if someone had to ask me that, like one of the hardest things about being a parent, that's for sure what it is. Okay, moving on to this message from MegaFit Meals, and we'll be right back. Life is busy, and when I get busy and don't have time to meal prep, I reach into my freezer and grab a MegaFit Meals. MegaFit Meals are a macro-friendly meal prep, no subscription required, real quality ingredients. They switch up the menu. You guys, I love them. Their chicken tenders, the margarita pizza, the chicken quesadillas. I mean, this food sounds indulgent, but guess what? It fits right into your macros. Head over to their website and don't you forget to use code JEANINE. That's code Jeanine for a discount. I know you guys just heard my discount code for MegaFit Meals, but if you're listening to this show and it's sometime between, it's before July 31st, they actually have a really good promotion right now called, it's the Stay Cool promotion. If you use discount code STAYCOOL30, you will get 30% off of a 16-pack. So that's a really, really good opportunity to try MegaFit Meals. All right, moving on to Comment Corner. And this one comes to us from Dana Edens, 8635. I remember 90210 graduation and being just a year behind them too. Also renting all the random 90s horror movies every weekend. I'm running to make that 80s summer playlist channel. She's referring to, in the last episode, we talked about nostalgia. So Mike and I were talking about what nostalgia is to us. And the 80s were very nostalgic. Like, I love all things 80s. It makes me happy, brings me to my happy place. But then that makes me think, what's your nostalgia since you're so much younger?
Well, I have like two different sides because you also introduced a lot of shows to me, or I was just watching it with you. So I have like the side that I can kind of share with everyone else my age, and then I have the side that everyone else my age they don't even know what I'm talking about, which is the majority of my childhood watching like Punky Brewster. Like, that's so nostalgic for me. And
it's crazy because my nostalgia is your nostalgia then.
Yeah, that was such a big part of my childhood. I probably ran through. I don't
You
know
had
if
the
it was
box
you or
set.
it was Dad, but he was like, I ran through. Yeah, I had the box set for all the seasons, and I ran through all the DVDs to where it broke down and it wasn't even playing anymore. So I had to get another set.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
I can't even. I've probably watched the whole series like 100 times.
And that was my show when I was young. So I loved it. So then you loved it. So it's funny because some of my nostalgia then, because that's the 80s. That's the pure 80s is your nostalgia, which is crazy because I'm trying to think, is some of my mom's nostalgia mine? And I guess the answer would be yes, because she got me into Shirley Temple.
Oh, yeah.
And her and I would watch Shirley Temple together. So that was her nostalgia. So I think that's funny. There's always, I guess, a little bit of carryover with that. And then she got me, and then I would watch like Golden Girls with her. That was like our show. So I would say my mom and I watching Golden Girls is equivalent to you and I and Friends.
Yeah, and Friends too. I was going to say that because I was born in 2001. So even that was like technically, it was beyond my time. Friends was.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I mean, that's another one of my favorite shows that I always loved.
You were a baby when Friends ended.
Yeah.
I think you were like young, really young.
Yeah. I think it ended like 2004. So yeah, I was a toddler.
Yeah, because I remember Jeanette was living with us at the time and you were a baby and we were watching the finale together. Jeanette is your aunt.
Yeah.
Robert's sister. So yeah, so you were a baby because I remember that. But okay, so then what would be your true nostalgia for you? Not as because it was mine, but your true nostalgia.
Probably like Disney,
Dora?
Well, that was like when I was a
little
kid.
older.
Like Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Cheetah Girls?
Cheetah Girls. Yeah. Wizards of Waverly Place with Selena Gomez.
So do those things, do you think, like when you're older or now, do they trigger the nostalgia feelings? You know what I mean? Like things like my nostalgia of the 80s, like it triggers like a weird, like I want to go like a time warp.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like I get more of that nostalgia from like something like Friends though. I don't know.
Interesting.
Because it brings me back to the time period that I watched it, not necessarily time period that it was out.
Well, that's what nostalgia, yeah, that's true. It takes you back to that. It's like it transports you to that moment in time in life. Mm-hmm. That's why songs trigger a lot of that too, because they transport you to whatever was going on in your life at the time.
There was this, what song was it from The Hills?
Feel the rain on your skin.
That song always makes me think of The Hills.
Yeah. I love The Hills. Song. I love that. And so does it transport it instantly? Just you saying that instantly transported me to that time.
Yeah. Juicy Couture.
Yes. The terry cloth purse.
Yes.
And the suits.
The low rise.
Oh, good times.
And also smells too. Like that Juicy Couture, that Va had that Juicy Couture smell, because I used to have that perfume too.
Yep.
And it would automatically bring me back to like what my room looked like at that time when I had that perfume and I was wearing it every day. So I
still feel that way about scents. That's why they're really important people don't realize like how important it is to select a scent. So like you should always select like for a special time in your life, like say your wedding time, that should be a very specific scent to your wedding so that it'll always remind you of your wedding. Different things like that, because scents will literally, it's like a time machine.
Yeah.
They will transport you. And I used to, before you and I got big into perfumes and like we have a collection, we try different ones all the time. I used to be the person that would pick one scent per year. I would wear the same one all year. And still to this day, any one of those scents that I wore for a year will transport me instantly to that year.
Yeah.
But I don't do that anymore. Now I'm going to be all over the place.
Yeah, it's because we have too many.
But we're going to have to divide that collection.
I know.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Speaking of nostalgia, Freaky Friday, the remake is happening.
Oh, yeah, movies too.
Freaky Friday, Parent Trap.
With Lindsay Lohan making a comeback, it makes me want to go back and watch those movies. And now especially with Freaky Friday 2 coming out.
Oh, I want to watch Freaky Friday like this weekend. Like I'm so excited about the remake, and I'm so excited that Lindsay Lohan like came back to life.
Yeah,
like,
she looks so good.
She looks so good, and and Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in it again. It's just a total remake.
I know.
I'm very excited about that one because it was very disappointing to me that they did a remake of Mean Girls and it was
not good.
Like a D movie.
Yeah.
Like a D level movie.
Yeah.
Like I think that Freaky Friday is going to be like the full-blown production.
Especially because it's the same cast.
Yeah. I don't know
That's
why
what makes it.
Why would they ruin Mean Girls like that?
I don't know.
I would say that the Lindsay Lohan movies were my favorite movies to watch with you guys as kids. Parent Trap, Freaky Friday. We must have watched them hundreds of times.
What's his name? From One Tree Hill. The guy that was in Freaky Friday.
Oh, he's going to be in it again too?
Yes, Chad Michael Murray.
Oh, he is going to be in it?
It's not, I don't think it's
confirmed,
but I think he is going to be in it.
It has to be confirmed because they're already on set.
Oh
I saw
that would be awesome.
I saw pictures of them on set, which is really exciting. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Transcend, and we'll be right back. When's the last time you switched your budget around? If you're spending cash on eating out and buying clothes, but you don't want to spend a bit on your health, what are you even doing? Every day, from the moment you wake up until you go to bed, you have a series of choices that will make or break you. The things you eat, your physical activity or lack thereof, your sleep, it all adds up. Personally, I care about what I put in my body, and I've found that it's hard to put a price on feeling like you're ready to take on the world every day. That's why I leverage the power of hormone optimization and fully customized peptide protocols from Transcend. If you're ready to take your health to the next level, head over to the link transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite and fill out an intake form today. All right. Let's talk about setting the standards for life. I think this is important conversation to have with you because I think that and I am not shaming my parents because they just didn't know any better. But I think why I feel like it took me so long in life to really figure out what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go is because I didn't learn about setting standards for my life from my parents. Like the standards they set for me were go to school and then get married immediately and have kids and work a 9-to-5 and pay your bills and live a mundane, boring life. They didn't, I don't know, give the thought of like visions. Yeah. They didn't even give me the visions to like go to college. They didn't even have. Yeah, like even they were just very old school, like just get married, do the 9-to-5. So it took me a long time to like start like thinking about like the ability to grow in life and to get far. You know what I mean? And I think that boils down to, or even like set standards for your life. Like what do I want? What do I want my life to be like? And where do I want to go? I just kind of.
A lot of that, though, it's very prevalent during this time right now with social media and everything. A lot of influence of building wealth and I feel like it's kind of influenced everyone. So
Yeah,
it could have
that's a
been the
good
time
point.
period too.
That's a good point. And I think for me, immigrant parents, so there was a little bit different there because my friends in school and stuff, they were encouraged to like go to college and become like these big professions.
Well, I mean, but like High's parents are immigrant parents, and they push him to go to college. So it's a different type of old school, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But what is like? So what has influenced you to set standards, and have you like set standards for your life and where you want to go?
Yeah, I've definitely set standards. I'm still figuring out where I want to be, and things can. I think it's flowing, but I've set standards of where I want to be eventually, and kind of the steps that I want to take to get there. It's hard not to put too much pressure on myself, especially with like High being 2 years older than me. It's like I have like that standard, like I need to be on the same level as him, but then I need to like, sometimes I have to like reflect on myself and be like, oh, okay, like I have time. I'm still young. I'm still 23.
You're so young. Give me a break. But it's good that you're thinking about that now though.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always behind, but I feel like a lot of people think that, just again because of social media and like the pressure that is put on everyone. And even living in Silicon Valley, like I feel like everything is so fast paced. Like you need to go, 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 go.
I think that just feeling like you're behind is an indication that you're ahead.
Yeah.
Because you're only behind if you're, in my opinion, if you're just, it's not even a thought.
Yeah. And to me, I feel like it's never been a question. Like I've always set standards for myself. I feel like that's just ingrained in my personality.
Yeah.
And also probably ingrained from like you and Dad instilling it in me. So it's from both environment and who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've just always been that person to set high standards for myself. But sometimes that can lead to disappointment. But it's just always been who I am. No matter if it was in school, setting high standards for getting straight A's, or if it was in work, you know, making sure I fill my schedule up, going to practice, competing, all of that, setting high standards for myself. And that just led to my adult life of where I want to be eventually. Of course, I want to be rich.
Of course.
Who doesn't?
I want to be rich. Was that a song?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a song.
Not my time.
Yeah, but not nostalgic for you. Yeah, but I think it's important to remember that you're never too old or too young to set standards, and you can, the key is that you have them though. Even for like, so there's so many different areas, right? Relationships, career, health.
Oh, true.
Right? Health standards. And sometimes though, what I think is important is that they'll set standards for one area and they put all their attention on that area and the other areas go bye-bye.
True.
So people are, all they care about is their career. And so they don't foster relationships and they don't take care of their health.
Yeah. So my standards for relationship, I want to be married, or 23. So I want to be married by like maybe 27.
Okay.
Maybe have kids at like 29, 28. And then
okay.
What else? For my health, I feel like I don't know.
Have you found good balance, would you say, with your health?
Yeah. I feel like I as long as I'm active, and then I pay attention to what I eat, but now I get to, like, I make sure I also enjoy the food that I'm eating too. I don't restrict myself. So unless I'm like, I really just maintain unless I'm going to be like cutting for a vacation. That's really the only time that I'm going to now that's the only time I'm tracking is when I'm like going to cut for vacation. I want to build like a little extra room because I know I'm going to go a little crazy on vacation. So that's the only time where I really track calories. Other than that, I really just kind of guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? You've done it for so long that you kind of intuitively track.
Yes. Yeah.
Rather than intuitively eat based on hunger cues, I think there's a difference. It's intuitively tracking because you kind of know what your volume should be.
Yeah, I'm not that person that can intuitively eat, and I know you're not either, because if we were to intuitively eat, we would be 400 pounds.
100%. I always say that I would intuitively eat myself into obesity in a few months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we have just crazy appetites. But I think, so would you say that you've set your health standards to be fitness will always be part of your life? Like you always live an active lifestyle?
Yeah, and I think that's honestly one of the most important things. That's one of the most important standards that you should set, because if you're not taking care of your health, then you're not going to live as long. Mm-hmm. Obviously. That seems like an obvious.
Yeah, that's kind of what one of the points I wanted to even bring this up. I think before you can really focus on the other things, I feel like people skip the health standards and they focus on everything else, and they put the health standards in the back burner, which those should be the like fundamentals that in which you build upon everything else. Because also, if you haven't mastered yourself and your health and made fitness a part of your life and your health a priority, how good of a partner do you think you're going to be to like your spouse?
Yeah.
Or a parent that doesn't take care of themselves. Like, how do you feel about that? You know, when Va died, you know, not that I was mad at her per se, but I was a little like, she could have done better for herself, so that we didn't have to, you know, a little resentment.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself at that time, that was a wake up call for me. Like, I didn't want to put you guys through that.
Yeah.
And so more of not even for myself, because I'll be honest with you, before that, my goals were aesthetic. I just cared what I looked like.
Yeah. And you never got checked up.
No, I did not. I was horrible. I was not, I always blame or accuse people of not being congruent. I wasn't being congruent. I cared more about what I looked like than my actual health. And I wasn't, you know, I was taking care of myself to make sure that I was not overweight, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to put you guys through that. And so that's when my goals and everything changed. It was a wake up call. It sucks that we have to have things that cause us to require us to have a wake up call like that, though, because obviously it was just 3 years ago, basically, that I really had that wake up call. But it's never too late, because I did implement a lot of things into my health since then that have made a significant difference, and I feel really on top of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I shifted away from aesthetics too. Like, of course, I want to look good, but also I want to like feel good and like move well. And unfortunately, I like training for performance now. Like I just ran my half marathon. Did I run my half marathon last time?
I don't know. It was right around the same time.
Yeah. So I ran my half marathon. Unfortunately, I haven't really been able to run since then, though, because my knee has been really bad. But other than that, I like training functionally. So like versus training for aesthetics now, because it's more.
You want to move. You want to feel athletic.
Yes. Yes. I want to feel athletic.
Yeah. You want to feel athletic. You are an athlete at heart, for sure. But I think now, do you think it'll be important for you? Will you be very careful about setting those standards for your kids?
Yes, of course.
And how do you think that you would go about that in a healthy way?
I don't know about that yet. I will have to ask you for advice.
Yeah. I think my advice would be to lead by example.
Yeah.
That's what I tried to do. Obviously, I led by the example that I knew of at the time. And my example wasn't always a good one. I've learned as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
You know, my example, you know, as I've educated myself in the space. And so that's why I try to help people educate themselves, because just by you knowing, and it's crazy what you can do by leading by example. Like we've helped people, like Mike and I have helped clients and stuff that their whole entire families have changed because now they know macros or they have, transformed. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be my advice is lead by example. How do you feel about Hi? Is he on board with the health journey?
He's getting there. He's had its up and downs, and maybe I shouldn't name names, but someone that we know in our life is similar this way, where they will kind of be really on track and really motivated, and then they'll kind of like near their goal or get in like so close to their goal, and then they're like, oh, I'm so close to my goal, I can kind of relax a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then they start to relax a little bit more.
Of course.
And then they go right back to how they were. So that's High struggle right now, is like just barely being able to touch his goal, and then he loses it. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to help him create discipline for when the motivation goes away.
Mm-hmm. That is the most common thing I coach because a lot of people do that. It's self-sabotage.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's just they loosen up the reins. They get a little too comfortable. If they used a way that was too strict to get there to begin with, it's easy to fall back off. But yeah, I think the desire is there. I think that's the most important.
He's getting there. I tell him like, look back at pictures when we were going to Bali, see what you look like as motivation to if you're feeling down, you don't want to go to the gym. Look at those pictures.
It is important for your partner to to live similar lifestyles, though. That's important. Is that important to you?
Yeah.
Like if he were to just completely, would it be a problem if he were to just completely go in the other direction?
Yeah, completely, yes. But I don't care as much. Mm-hmm. I feel like, but obviously if you were to completely go the opposite direction, that's not aligning with what I'm doing every day.
Right.
But
because there could be times when it's like that. I mean, it was like that with Mike and I, right? There were times where we were in opposite directions, but he came back. As long as he come back around my way.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's turned the corner.
I always know when Hi is on point when he's prepping.
When you see him cooking.
I was like, Hi, are you back on the macros? Yeah, I'm back on the macros.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think it's just important to keep that in mind, though, it is important to set standards for your life. I think so many people go about this life they're just going through the motions of life, and they don't have basic standards and a set of principles that they live by.
And that's where I see a lot of differences in different friendships that I have. It's you can see that so many people are lost right now. Mm-hmm. So many people I know are lost right now just because they haven't set standards. Referring to Serena from Love Island, what are your long-term goals?
Yeah, it's true.
What are your long-term goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And they can't answer that.
Yeah.
They literally don't have an answer for that. It's okay, take it a step further. Where do you want to see yourself in a year? They can't even answer that either.
I know. How about they can only think about what they're doing this weekend?
Yes.
That's a problem.
It is a problem.
Yeah, because you have to have direction. You do. It's like if you get in your car and go driving and you don't have any idea where you're going, what are you going to do? You're going to waste gas. You're going to waste time, money, and you're going to end up back at home.
Okay with the metaphor.
I love my analogies. I'm the queen of analogy. Is it an analogy or a metaphor?
I think it's an analogy.
Oh, okay with the analogies. Anyways, guys. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. And I will see you next time.